morning, everybody. It is April 19th, 2023. We are currently on our way to Long Neck, Delaware to service a Lochinvar combi boiler. Now, this boiler had a service call on it a couple months ago that another technician in the company went out and looked at, and apparently it was just airbound. So he was able to get it bled out and back up and going, but we tried to sell them a service contract on it with installing the service kit from Lochinvar, and they declined. So they've called back now saying they've obtained the service kit themselves and they'd like us to just come put it on and do all the work with the service kit under time and material. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully they have the right material and the right kit that we need, and we're gonna put it on and we're gonna fulfill their wishes, because at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to make your customer happy. So stay tuned for all that. All right, guys, I got the cover off. It's a Lochinvar Noble, and we have a box of parts here. I've already started to unpack. It's pretty loud in here. This is a car wash that it provides heating for the in-floor radiant. So I'll do the best I can. But like I said, it's pretty loud in here, and this isn't even as loud as it gets because there is a lot of equipment in here that runs. So we're going to get started on this maintenance. All right, first of all, very cool of Lochinvar to send everything in this pool bag. Shame the customer bought this, because I'd really like to have that, but this is everything they sent me. So we're going to go through piece by piece and put it all on there. We got the water off to the boiler. We're going to drain it down now, and I think the first thing we're going to tackle are these switches here. Yeah, I've never seen a boiler manufacturer send you all this stuff, especially not in a freaking tool bag like this. But there's new boards, there's new sensors, there's gaskets, there's like I said, the transformer, new switches, gaskets, all kinds of stuff, man. Lochinvar doesn't mess around, that's for sure. We've almost got it drained down now, and we're going to start with those thermistors there. Well, that one there wasn't very tight anyway. I could almost do that by hand, but that's probably why it's been leaking like that. So we're gonna get this one out of there and get a new one in. All right, and the new one has little gaskets on it, so I don't believe we will need any type of sealant, pipe dope, or Teflon tape on this. And how did I change these parts? I'm putting them back in the bag they came in and dropping them in this box so I don't get confused. So I'm doing them one at a time. All right, let's put this bad boy back in there. This guy here just pulls right out. And this comes with a new gasket and a new switch. Like I said, guys, there's like constant noise in here 24/7, so I apologize for that. Sometimes it's quiet like this, sometimes there's like 1,000 things running, so just bear with me. All right, I got the gas valve off. I got some stuff cleared out of the way so I can take this top off and get to this gasket. And something I'm noticing here, none of these nuts are even tight. I'm taking them off by hand. They're a 10 millimeter, but only one I actually needed a wrench for. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not, but you wouldn't think so. If they put bolts there, you'd think they'd want to get them tight. All right, I haven't touched this one yet at all. Figures. The hardest one to get to is the tightest one. All right, so I went to pull the Venturi and the burner out, but it won't come out unless you take the top off. So that's what I'm going to do now. Like I said, guys, I've never done one of these before, so bear with me. We're going to take this top off, and we should have enough clearance to get that out of there. All right, we got the whole top off, which is the burner and the Venturi, and this is inside the burner, so we're going to clean all that up, and then we're going to replace that gasket, and we'll check the kit to make sure they didn't send anything else that needs to be replaced while I have this top off. I think they might have given us something else. I'll have to check, though, but that's our progress so far. I'm sure they make a special brush and cleaning kit for this, which you think they'd send in the kit, but they didn't. So I'm just using a pipe cleaning brush, trying to get all this thick stuff off there. Then I'm gonna hit it with the shop vac, suck it all out of there. But like I said, in that kit they didn't send any brushes, so they probably do have a special brush for this. But I'm just doing what I can with what I got. All right, well, I got it cleaner than what it was, but making sure all the old gasket's gone too. Put the new gasket on and go to the next step. All right, next we're gonna get this old igniter out and we're gonna put the new igniter in. All right, they give us a new gasket for the Venturi assembly, which is right here. So we'll do that next. All right, we got our old gasket off. We got our new gasket back on. So our Venturi assembly will go back on like so. And then we'll get all the bolts back in it and get this put back on. All right, I got all this back together. Got that gasket replaced, got the igniter replaced. Man, it's got a bunch of other gaskets here. I don't know if, I haven't seen these gaskets on this thing yet, but I'm gonna keep looking. I don't know, it might have sent, this might just be like a generic kit for different size boilers. Because this one here is 150,000 BTU model NKB 150N. So I don't know if this kit is just a generic kit that they send for all models and you just use what you need out of it. But I could see the transformer, the boards, and the harnesses and all that stuff being the same. But as far as the gaskets go, they might just give all the gaskets, just that way they only have one kit. You guys let me know down in the comment section if that's the case, because it's looking like a lot of these gaskets I'm not even gonna need. So, all right, I'm gonna put the Venturi burner back on and then get this thing under, keep going. All right, next we got washers in here. We're gonna take those ones out, there and there, and we're gonna put new ones in. These are the guys right here. They're a washer, but they've got like a little metal ring in them too. This one here came in and out no problem, but this one I had to loosen that bracket down there so I could push this out and get some clearance. Now we'll get this gasket out. Oh, this fell right out. So we'll get a new one in there and get that locked back down. That bottom one was a little bit of a doozy because it didn't want to line up right, but got her lined up, got that back on. I'm in the process of putting the gas valve back on now. And we're gonna keep on, keeping on. All right, I got most of all the gaskets and everything replaced that I need to replace, so I'm gonna work on some of this electronic now. We have a new board here that we're gonna work on now. All right, well, I got the new board on, which has a whole lot more stuff on it than my board did. And I hope it works. Where's my board? The board I took off. Let me find that, and I'm gonna show you guys what the difference is. All right, so this new board has a plug here, it has a relay, and it has that right there too. My board, the one I took off, doesn't have any of that. So I guess I'll know when I turn it back on, but it says in the instruction sheet that for that model, this board fits all models, so we'll see. All right, I'm gonna move on to, they gave us some new glass fuses, so I'm gonna see where those plug in at, and we'll do those glass fuses next. All right, here's our glass fuses here, 1, 2, 3. It did not give us this board, but it did give us the fuses for it. So we'll go ahead and pop those old fuses out and put the new ones in. It gave us extras too, so we'll leave the extras here in the unit. All right, I'm just double checking here. I got all my parts and pieces connected back. I got the Venturi hooked back, all this tubing hooked back, all the wiring connected, all this wiring connected. I still have my display board and transformer off here, and I still have to replace this transformer, which they give me in the kit. And I'm about to do that now. Before I went any further though, while I still had all this off, I just wanted to make sure everything was tight and everything was good. So I'm about to go, you know what? I think I might actually turn the water back on first to make sure I don't have any leaks before I put more things on that I might have to get out of the way. So I'm going to turn the water back on here right now. All right, what I'm going to do here to bleed the air out of the boiler, because I really only lost purge and introduced air just in the boiler, because I had a shutoff valve here and a shutoff valve here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the water back on, which follows this path here, comes here, and then this is the inlet to the boiler. So I'm going to open this valve, keep this one closed, and feed water into the boiler, and then back out through this hose here. And then once all the air runs out, which should not take long, I'll shut it off and then open it to the rest of the system, and then make sure I don't have any air through the loop. I've shut this valve off too to make sure the water isn't coming this way. I want all the water to come through my pressure reducing valve straight to the boiler, through the boiler, and then back out that hose there and outside. So this is off. We're about to turn this on. Come on. All right. That is on. That one's still closed, and our bleeder valve is open. So we're about to restore water now. And we'll let that fill up. And we should be getting water out of these hoses momentarily. Yep, there's our water. So let's just make sure we don't have any air. Seems like we're flowing pretty solid. All right. All right, back inside here, we are going to shut our bleed off, open our boiler to the rest of the system, and then open our supply valve, and we should be good. All right, now let's check for leaks. Don't see anything there. And we do have a leak. Where's that leak coming from? It's coming from that guy up there. Okay. All right. Seemed I just didn't have it tight enough. Gave it a couple more cranks and she stopped. Just watch everything else for a minute. She's got full pressure on her right now. This guy was leaking before. I want to make sure that guy doesn't leak at all. Yeah, it does that sometimes in here. And then this guy. I think we're good, honestly. Alright, let's move on. Alright, we got this little bleeder screw up here. We just want to make sure we open that. Get all the air out. That looks like we're already full there. Alright. Alright, lastly, we're going to put on this new transformer. Alright, so we're going to do new condensate neutralizer. Now, they gave us the whole freaking kit. So I'm just going to pop that one off and just pop this one right back on. They could have just gave us more neutralizer, but they just gave us the whole kit. So it is what it is. That's what we're going to do. Alright, we got our new condensate neutralizer in. We got our gas line back connected. We still have to put that up, but I think I'm gonna turn it on now and make sure everything is good. Then we'll put the rest of the panels back on and we'll be done. Alright, just to get this thing started up quickly, I jumped the thermostat and I removed the outdoor temperature sensor because it is currently 71 degrees outside and it would have been locked out. So remove that, jump the thermostat, and we are running right now at 100%. We're going to let it run for a little bit, make sure everything heats up. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean this mess up because I've got quite a mess here. Alright guys, so we are heating up here. The set point on this thing is only 115 degrees. It is basically, it's at a car wash here, so its only job is to keep stuff from freezing. So we're about 96. And we haven't came back yet, but we are making heat. All right, just finishing up with a combustion test here. We're at 9.9 CO2. And we are at 5.9 O2, and our CO is 67, which seemed high to me. So I went to the install manual, and we are propane here, and it says CO level should be less than 200 parts per million. And I thought anything over 50 was high, but that's what they're telling me. So on high fire, which we are in right now, we should have a CO2 level of between 10 and 11%, and an O2 level between 4.1 and 5.6. So we are a little on the high end. Let's see. Oops. So we're running 9.9 CO2, which is almost good, but I wonder if it's worth it to adjust that down a little bit. We'll see how to do that, and then we'll see if it's worth it to knock it down a little bit. But man, we are pretty close. It was just that that CO2 was worrying me because I thought that was high, but according to the manual right here, the CO level should be less than 200 parts per million, and we're way less than that. So, all right. So a lot of good stuff in this manual here. It gives your resistance values on each sensor for each wire. And then it gives all your fault codes here. Some of this information is hard to find with other manufacturers. Lochinvar puts it right in the manual, which is very nice. Alright, so our CO2 hit 10, so I'm not going to make any adjustments here. It seems like it's running good, seems like it was commissioned properly. They did a pretty decent job installing it. They pressed all this, which is nice. That's some pretty big piping feeding the hydronic, the infloor radiant loops. Pretty big piping there. All in all, it's a pretty decent install. This is not a combi, it's just a straight heat. But it's pretty decent install. All right, guys, got the covers back on. Got everything cleaned up, got everything put back the way the customer had it. Leaving the goodie bag here. Like I said, the customer ordered this kit himself. He bought it himself, so I cannot take that bag with me. Wish I could, because it's a pretty neat bag. Because way to go, Lochinvar, man. They are. That's good stuff. Sending everything in this nice little bag. I mean, I've never seen a manufacturer do that. All right, guys, I'm just about to leave out of here now. We got pumps through. Look at the size of this motor. Holy crap. I mean, there's a lot behind a car wash. Holy crap, look at all these valves. And all the car wash solution, motors. I mean, there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes in a car wash, guys. A lot. Not to mention it's freaking noisy. Look, more equipment over here. Tons of stuff. Told you it was noisy. Very neat stuff here. Man, this stuff is cool. Look at this big tank. There's our little Lochinvar. All right, guys, let's get the hell out of here before the car wash puts us to work. All right, guys, just finished up with that Lochinvar Noble unit. We don't have very many Lochinvars around here, at least not ones I work on. So we have combis around here. We have some Bosches and stuff like that, but I don't run into very many Lochinvars. And that wasn't a combi anyway. That was just a wall-hung heater. But like I said, I don't have very many Lochinvars around here, so it's neat working on stuff like that. I've never done that kit before, so it was a learning experience for me. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And please like and subscribe for more content like this. All right, guys, I'm off to the next one.